Of course, there's always exceptions to the rule. Always exceptions to the rule. But I must say, and be very honest with you, these people, or those with this Pan-African, not only Pan-African, but this pro-black, black first, blackity black, I'm so black. When they bleed, their blood is not red. Their blood is black. They so melanated. They get all this information from their pineal gland and all this. They just so great. They did everything first, the original man and supreme and whatever. It's rather sickening. Because when I hear this rhetoric, if you take the black out of the equation and you replace it with white, they sound just like race soldiers. They sound just like white supremacists. Matter of fact, I would assume, and I have come to the conclusion, they are the offspring of white supremacy. All this black, this and black, none of it existed prior to Europeans, because ancient people did not refer to themselves as race. Racial classification did not happen until the Europeans invented black, white, red, yellow, Cassacoid, Negroid, all this stuff until the late 1700s. The Europeans created black. That's very white of you. And that's what they are. So arrogant. Think they know it all. They do their research. They know all the sciences. They are such scholars. Okay. Well, we have some more valid questions, more valid observations and conclusions for these smart folks who know so much. Just a couple of questions, inquiry. And usually when they cannot have an answer for what we bring, you a coon, you an agent, you a sambo, the usual nonsense. They never, and that's their way of distraction, avoiding the question. Okay, I'm a coon, I'm a sambo, I'm an agent, I'm a spy. When it's all said and done, you didn't answer the question. You ignore. That's distraction tactics. So what is it we wonder about today, briefly on this video? Okay, let's go. Now, our ancestors, the once called American Negro, our ancestors were supposed to be free in 1865. That's when it all started. The Emancipation Proclamation, all that kind of good stuff, blah, blah, blah. Correct. Our ancestors was made free. Now, this is the question to these Pan-African type folks, that they never bring this up, but I'm going to ask you a question. Since the Africans know that we are African, right? They know. Now, maybe we didn't, because we were made lost, deaf, dumb, and blind to the knowledge of self, right? We don't know. Made mentally dead. So since our ancestors was free, how many Africans came to America to tell us we were Africans? Who were they? How many African nations reached out and said to our ancestors, ooh, y'all Africans, y'all finally free. Come on home to the motherland. Did Ghana, the Congo, Somalia, even Libya? I mean, what African nation reached out to the African American? How many came over here to teach us? Now, as far as we know, some Pakistan guy claiming he came from Mecca, some foreigner came from Mecca, came over here to tell us that we was some kind of Africans or Muslims or whatever. And then Noble Drew Ali went and talked to some foreigners and brought that information back. But no Africans, to my knowledge, came over here to tell us that we was Africans. Where was, let's return to the motherland in 1865, 1870, 1890. Well, I would tell you, one of the excuses they would say, well, Africa was fighting its own battles, colonization and whatever. That's cool. How does that stop anybody, one person or individual or a group? How does that stop them from coming to America? How does that stop them from bringing us information to tell us that we Africans? Marcus Garvey, who is a Jamaican, did not show up till the 1920s. And clearly he was influenced and indoctrinated with the Africans who taught him that he was an African from the islands, Jamaica. Why wasn't he invited to Africa? How many Africans reached out to Marcus Garvey? To the Jamaicans? Y'all Africans too. We all Africans, y'all. The whole story, see, it don't even make any. It don't even make any sense. And so, most of these African nations, they did not regain their freedom from the colonists till the late 1950s. So give them 20 years. 1970s, they are 20 years free of Europeans. Right? By the 80s, they are 30 years free. Where are our invitations to come to the motherland? What is Africa doing for us? Where was the Africans in the 1960s? Did they reach out to help us in the civil rights battle? No. Many of them migrated here, came here to take advantages of the civil rights laws that our ancestors, not no Africans, bled and died for and suffered. Where was the Africans in Birmingham, Alabama? How many Africans was going up and down in the marches? How many Africans was part of the Black Panther Party or the Nation of Islam or SNCC? I want to hear it. And you should not want to hear all that African stuff. They ain't do a damn thing for us, and we supposed to be going all out of our way in love with people who clearly don't give a damn about us. Now, just recently, Ghana had a Back to the Motherland, some kind of event, so they can get our money. So you can go there, cry, go visit some slave chambers or whatever, give them your money, and you bring your ass back home to America. That's what we done. None of these African nations asking you, say, come back home to Africa. We got all this free land and we got a lot of, because you haven't been here, we want you home. We have all this land for you, houses for you. Come on home, brothers and sisters. They're not doing that unless you can give them some money. Where were they in 1880? Come back to the motherland. Where were they teaching us that we was Africans. We learned that from the white man. The white man told you you was an African. The Africans didn't even tell you you was an African. The white man, who you call a liar and a deceiver, Europeans told you you was an African. No Africans came here to tell us we were some kind of African. Because if they did it, they can specify. They don't have to talk in generalization. You are African. They can tell you exactly what African you are. You speak, if you know that we Africans, who are we? West Africans. That's who in West Africa. Just talking in generalizations, because you're not that. If I'm from America, I can tell you exactly where I'm from. I'm from Mississippi. I can tell you I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. I can tell you specific. Not just being general. I'm Mississippian. Because you don't know. The main problem is you never came from no Africa. None of your ancestors, you never lived in no Africa. You're not an African. So our second point we want to make before our time runs out on this visit is we want to call the white man evil. And you call him evil, you call him a deceiver, you call the white man the devil, which of course is justified. I mean, I'm not going to argue. I can't argue about that. I mean, Europeans have done some terrible things to melanated people in America and around the earth. We're not going to argue that point. We want to argue, or let's say, we want to bring this observation up. Why are Africans running to Europe? Why is Africa people running to America? Willing to risk their lives. Now, mind you, these Pan-African people, they are not willing to risk their life to go to Africa. I'm going to say that again. Pan-Africans are not willing to risk their life to run to Africa. But Africans are willing to risk their life to come to America, to the devil, to Yakub, to Lucifer, to Satan. They are willing to risk their lives. Many Africans will call other African people devils, evil, wicked. Instead of running from the white man, these people are running to the white man. And the ones are left, their leadership want to be like white people. They are just corrupt or more evil and wicked than the colonizer, than the Europeans that was in control at one time. Because I don't remember, why wasn't the Africans running away from Africa when the Europeans was in control? Woo! Good question. Now that's a good question. Now that the Africans are in control, they took back their country. Why are they risking their lives trying to run to Europe and America? But they wasn't trying to, well, to my knowledge, see, I'm not a history scholar. Maybe they was, but to my knowledge, were they trying to run? And this is the thing also. Not only are they trying to run from a certain country, the continent is so bad, they leave the whole continent. If it's bad in Ghana, why don't you just pack up your bags and go to the country next door? These people The continent is so bad, they want to leave the continent. Just like it's so bad in South America, not only are they leaving their country, they want to leave the whole place, South America. So you know it's bad. And where do they want to run to? They want to run to the devil. They want to run to Yakub. They want to run to Lucifer. They want to run back to the arms of the colonizer. Wow. They run into the devil. So in conclusion, again, who are the Africans that taught our people we were Africans in 1890? Who were the Africans that invited our ancestors who needed a place to go, that just left the slave plantation? Who was the Africans that invited them to Africa, to their homeland, to freedom, once they left the slave plantation? And in 2022, why are Africans who were born on the continent, why are they running to Europe? And they are also running to Europe for their education and many, many things. But Africa is this great place. Why are these Pan-Africans not packing their bags and moving to Africa? They are right here in America. It's a joke. Pan-Africanism is a joke. The simple definition for Pan-Africanism is to unify melanated people in Africa and around the earth. Has nothing to do with your morality and all this other garbage that these people be talking. We're all different, but we're all in a similar circumstance, and we should unite based upon that similar circumstance. It has nothing to do, I need to adopt your custom, your way of life, and all this other crap that these Pan-Africans talking about. And most of them are fake. Most of these Pan-Africans, a lot of them are drunks. They're drunks, dope fiends, whoremongers, liars, slanderers, and the list goes on and on. So since all these Africans are running away from Africa, it's plenty of room for Dr. Umar Johnson and what's his name? Man, what's that guy with the glasses? All these old Pan-Africans and Brother Bakari and Gay Nollywood Jr., these Pan-African type folk. There's plenty of room in Africa for you. They're not going nowhere. And that's why modern day Pan-Africanism is a joke. The red, black, and green means nothing, because these people are frauds and fake, and they've made it that way. They stand for nothing. It's just a feel-good church rhetoric. They're not real about anything. If that's your home, then go and help build your home. They're not going to do anything with all your scholarship and knowledge. See, it's a joke. It's not real. And we've been hearing this crap for almost 100 years. Maybe it has been 100 years. Jot down your comments. Let's talk about it. And we'll catch y'all on the flip.